Okay, the colours we're going to use today are olive green, we have got indigo, and we've also got the Indian red. I've got some medium and large size brushes and some cold pressed paper all taped down. So I thought it'd be nice to do a border to the picture. So I've grabbed the blue and I'm just painting with the larger of the two brushes these lines around my taped up border. I've let that dry, and once that's dried I've got a smaller brush and I've just gone in a little bit to create sort of like a stepping through border, so a step down border. So just painting that along there and just being careful. And then I am going to be painting some leaves. So these are very easy to do. I've got a medium-sized brush, and all you need to do is gently just press down on your page as you're administering that paint and just drag it to the one end. And then just with the same brush, drawing a stem throughout the page. I just thought that would look pretty. And adding some more leaves here. So I just waited until I'd drawn that stem to know whereabouts these other leaves needed to go, and then just dragging that through there. Then I'm doing these lovely little shapes just to fill up some of the space, and just adding some little stalk ends as well. And then I've grabbed the indigo red and I've decided to work on the bird. So just filling in the side of the head there, and then just adding the bird's body. I've grabbed the green and just doing the underbelly of the bird there, and then doing the top of the bird, just sort of like following the shape of the bird's wings. The tail is coming out at an angle, and using a smaller brush I've just added some lines there, and the same smaller brush I have done the beak and the legs. So I've grabbed some yellow ochre and we're just adding some little round kind of circle shapes here and there. So what I want to do is just add some details into these negative spaces, just to add a little bit more interest. So I'm adding one larger circle, then a couple of smaller ones next to it. I think that looks complementary. 3s are always good to work with, or 5s, any odd number really. And just continuing until I'm happy that that's completed. So once that's done, I've grabbed a small brush again and I've got the green paint and I'm adding some leaves. I'm just pressing that brush onto the page, and once that's completed, I've grabbed some more paint and I'm just adding some dots, some more of the green paint. Just dotting around. It's more denser, you can see there at the bottom of the page, a little bit more lighter at the top, and just continuing until I'm happy with that. I thought the little dots that I put at the bottom of the page were a little bit dense. So what I've done is just grab some water and just dabbing some water on top of those. And when you get up close to these, you'll see that there's sort of like a dark colour in the middle and then a round sort of watermark around your paint mark. And it looks really, really nice. So I've let all that dry and I've grabbed a white Posca pen, a white acrylic paint pen, and I'm just adding some details onto those leaves. So just completing all of those, putting lines through, and then the smaller leaves, I'm just adding some little dots in the middle. And I think that looks rather cute when you see that up close. So just continuing until I've completed all of that. And then once I'm happy with that, moving on to the bird and adding some detail there. So I wanted to separate the bird's head from the body, so I just drew a line there to separate, and then just adding some patterns on the bird's head. So I've added an eye and some pattern marks, and doing the same with the bird's wing and tail. So you could choose whatever colours you want. You might not want white, you might want to use other colours, and that'll be fine. It'll just make it look slightly different. Adding some dots onto the breast of the bird there, and some little triangle shapes onto the wings, sort of trying to represent the feathers that would be on there. So once that's all completed, I have then going to grab a black pen, and I'm just outlining some of that white pen just to make it a little bit more bolder and to make that white pen sort of pop off the page. So I hope you like this. I hope you get to try. If you like this, maybe you'll consider liking, subscribing, maybe leave me a comment. Let me know whether you like this. Is this something you think you're going to do? What's your art journey been like? I would love to hear from you, and I'll come straight back to you. So adding some detail on the bird's beak there and outlining it, and then outlining the white Posca pen marks on the bird's feet just to make them stand out a little bit more, and then outlining the patterns on the bird's head there. So I've moved on now to the round circles, and I'm just putting some dots in the center of some of those, and it just adds that little bit detail more to the page. And then I am using the black fine liner pen, and I'm outlining the page, outlining where the tape is, and I think that will just give it a nice clean border when I peel that tape away. So just doing that, trying to be careful not to get the pen all over the place. And then I've grabbed the white Posca pen, and I thought it'd be nice to add like a little trim to that blue. So it looks a little bit lacy, these little white dots just all the way around the edge, just missing that black line there. It's just slightly in from that black line, and I thought that would add to the frameage of the picture. But you could add lines, whatever you think would make that blue line pop out a little bit, or you might just want to leave it blank. Just go with what you think when you do it. Okay, so I've heated up the tape, making sure that it's all nice and tacky so that I can pull off the tape without ripping my picture. And then I'm going to pull it up to the screen so you can see some detail. So you can see it here, and I think it's worked really well. I really enjoyed doing that, and I love the frame. I think I will utilize that frameage again. Very interesting to do, and I think it makes the picture just sort of sing a little bit more. So thanks a lot. See you soon. Bye.